And that was his test. It was pretty good. I'll finish with this. I know it's time to almost go, but I'll finish with this. This is really quite spectacular. And then you might wonder why we're going to keep going, because we have to. People get excited about things. So this is Yule's paper, which has a great start to it, a mathematical theory of evolution, and then based on someone else, which is kind of ridiculous. So this is Simon's paper. It's called this, on a class of skew distribution functions. Just burying everything, just like, this is terrible. And it was in Biometrica. But his introduction was good, right? The purpose of this paper to analyze a class of distribution functions that appear in a wide range of empirical data, particularly data describing sociological, biological, economic phenomena. No Oxford comma, but we'll forgive him. Its appearance is so frequent, the phenomena are diverse, that one has led to conjecture that if they have any property in common, it's going to be in the structure of the underlying probability mechanisms, right? This is going to be a very simple little mechanism that, will have variations, different flavors, but we have to draw back to something really basic. De Sola Price is the first one to think about network evolution, and this was a little lost in time until we dug it all up again. Citation network for scientific papers. Cumulative advantage is what, so this is the first time we have something that has a little bit of flavor to it. Papers receive new citations with probably proportional to the existing number, so that was well done. It's a directed network. You have to contend with the fact that new papers have no citations, so there's no, how do they get them? You just sort of add one to everyone. And the selection mechanism is much more complicated here. But we'll get to that too. Merton. I need to tell you these things before we go. So Robert Merton, famous guy. So the Matthew effect, this is very important. So Merton did lots of things, careers of scientists, and he's a sociologist, and looked at how their careers played out. And as you might understand, right, or guess, right, career goes to the people who are already famous. So if you do well early on, things take off. And he called it the Matthew effect, right? So this is we've got cumulative advantage, Matthew effect, bit of a stronger branding. That's from the Gospel of Matthew. For everyone that hath shall be given. But there's more in this, right? This is not the entire mechanism. So it's not the full Matthew effect. But from him who hath not, that also will be, seemeth to, I can't say it probably, to shall be taken away, right? So it's the poor get poorer. That's not built into this one. That's actually a little worse. Cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. We don't have that in our mechanism. Their men will weep, and gnash their teeth. So that could be a good project. You could add gnashing of teeth to Simon's model. Hath is a suggested unit of, right. Merton, you need to know these things before we go. Merton was a catchphrase champion. Self-fulfilling prophecy is Merton. Wow. Role model. Unintended consequences, or we called it unanticipated. Focus interview became the focus group. So he sort of conceptualized all sorts of things. And his son won a Nobel Prize in economics. That's Black-Scholes, random walks. Yeah. Okay, last one for you. I know, I'm sorry. But Barbazi and Albert, so the thing about the web, they basically, it's a version of Simon's model. It's not quite the same. They call it preferential attachment. Undirected networks, so no one's even pointing to anyone. They have a selection problem, and I'll talk about this more and more. Maybe I'll come back to this on Tuesday. Sorry for going over time there, but that's just a good thing to end with. And the next session will be Mandelbrot's fight with Simon. Mandelbrot was right because Mandelbrot said he was right. And it's that kind of thing. All right, people. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you and sorry. Office hours.